Get ready for hot takes and insight from local industry experts in real estate, business, and lifestyle. He used to play ball with the Padres. He played hockey for the Lobos. Now they're crushing it in the real estate game. Together, they'll showcase the best of the Duke City. This is All About You, ABQ.
That's right, this is All About You, ABQ. Take some time, ABQ, for you. Now, the goal of the show is to highlight the best of our city's industry experts in real estate, culture, lifestyle, so that you walk away with some value and feeling inspired. Now, the way we like to do that is to answer the questions you may have or interview the guests you want to see. So we invite you to join the conversation. You can reach out on social media up here or join our email list to get some timely tips about our community and real estate market. Hey, I'm Skip Adams, owner of Sold by Skip Real Estate Brokerage here in Albuquerque.
Grant Harvey, home loan expert broker.
You might know this mortgage broker as the head coach of the University of New Mexico men's Lobo hockey team. Now he's absolutely crushing it as a mortgage broker.
Yeah. Wait, where do we know this guy? Is it HGTV's House Hunters? Or maybe is it that he's part of the top 2% producing real estate agents in the world? Wow, yeah, check that out. Wrap your head around that like a burrito.
And then obviously stay tuned to the end of the show. It's everybody's favorite, Skip's Tips. But I think what the viewers really want to know is whose hair is better today? I got the little flip going.
You know what I don't like is I wasn't being competitive. I told you before we started the show that I thought your hair was doing good, and now you turn it into whose hair is doing better. Like, don't be like, we've never been competitive. Can we address that? Have we ever been competitive, though? That's why we get along. And why are you doing it now?
Is this because my hair is better?
The one time you on flyways, you're like, all right, everyone weigh in.
Can we go tight on camera, too?
Yeah. Dude, your hair does look good, but I don't even like telling you that now because of the way you're acting. Why are you being like this?
Oh, my God. Dude, how was, I haven't seen you in a bit. How was your 4th of July?
It was not eventful. I think that I have to spend so much time with my animals, making them feel, I had a new phase in my life. I wasn't the guy that just lit off Civil War cannons in the alley, but that's what seems like it's happening. Why are firecrackers so loud now?
I have footage of you exploding my neighborhood and getting my neighbor to come out and threaten to kill us all.
Okay, maybe one year.
Anyway.
But we don't need to
label
me as they called the cops, but so I find myself just holding my animals the whole time. And
you get a little nervous around fireworks?
They shiver quite a bit, and I took issue with it. Actually, I took issue with it on Facebook. This is good. I took issue with it on Facebook, and one woman remarked, "Oh, well, maybe you shouldn't treat your dogs like children." And then I go, oh yeah, you should really come in on me for like caring. Like, what does it matter how I treat my animals? I was just remarking on the fact that it's really loud. I mean, like fireworks are louder than they ever been. And then I'm like, so you took issue with the fact that I
cuddled your dog?
Yeah. Oh, what and then there was a 37 response to it because I think animal lovers came in and. I think she felt dumb and unfriended me. that was the result.
Speaking of 4th of July, 4th of July fireworks, it's funny because, little kids now, man, they're just like terrorists. In fact, Mark, roll some footage. Here's our 4th of July.
I like your sentiment. Little kids are like terrorists.
Oh, there's a fire. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
We lit a fire. Yeah, we actually.
Why was there cussing?
Because there was a fire that broke out on the other side of the shed. Okay. You couldn't see it because we all had to run to safety. But fireworks safety, always have a fire extinguisher and a hose. That was the moral of that video. So we were able to put the fire out.
I didn't get there. I'm glad you described it. There's never. Why is there cussing? It's a game show. Don't talk. The mouth doesn't move. Fireworks are pretty exciting. And like over time they got smaller, but over time you were able to buy these illegal things, right? So if you go buy a pack of fireworks that are like legal, it's like, oh, look at this thing,
it's a snake.
It's like a candle, and then the ones you could buy are.
We were driving home from the East Mountains right at 9:15.
Moriarty.
Yeah, well, but hold on. On 4th of July, we're driving home from the East Mountains. Shout out All Night Allen. But we got onto Tramway at 9:15, and it looked like Armageddon, dude. People don't give a fuck anymore about fireworks, bro. They were like launching them over Tramway. It looked like we were in a movie or a war zone coming home. The kids were like, "This is awesome!" Like, this actually is pretty cool.
Let's talk about the one time we're in San Diego and they had a mishap, and so all the fireworks went off in like 9 seconds, and I was like, "Skip, this is the fucking best firework show I've ever seen." It just was like, I was like, "Dude, your fireworks show is so sick," and it was over. Because they messed up.
All 3 shows were off at this.
9 seconds.
It was done in 9 seconds.
$3 million of it.
And then 2,000 families just like, is that?
No, there were a lot of people mad because they had spent time to get to the front row, right? Like it spent and then that was it. There was a grand finale, like to start it. It was
leading off all of the fireworks.
Just Molly maids.
No, it's funny.
Yeah. So let's also talk about other 4th of July events that we've had. And let's talk about your past and about San Diego. We had DJ Kirch, and every 4th of July I would go out to San Diego, and it would be the best time of my life because there was a time where you could just go for it, and we knew like the best DJ in town every 4th of July. It was the best time of our life, and we would dress like party bears. Are we not supposed to talk about that?
Talk about the party bear in the room? We can, but let's talk about parties, because one thing that always happens about downtown Albuquerque is it's slow to change. We always talk about this on the show. And one new big anchor that's meant to come to downtown is the Ex Novo Brewery, and we've been talking about this for a while.
Corrals based, right?
Yeah, actually out of the Northwest, but they're meant to come down. Take a look at this sketch. This is what it's supposed to look like downtown on 7th.
Beautiful.
Meant to open July 10th today, and as it turns out, there's a delay.
No.
Let's talk a little bit about it. The brewery located at 701 Central Avenue, originally scheduled to be open in July, according to news release. However, the site is facing issues getting adequate power routed to the building. So power company is working on a solution, but there's still considerable amount of work that needs to be done on their end. So we are unable to tell you when we're going to be opening.
That's strange. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know much, and I can't even scrutinize it. I just don't know how that happens. But
it's not an uncommon thing. Our power grid here in Albuquerque. I'm not an expert in this. I did have a client who works at P&M, and they actually recruited him to come in and kind of evaluate. He's an electrical engineer. He'd come in and evaluate the status of our power grid here, and he goes, off the record, man, you guys are like a light switch away from going black here. So they brought him in.
Come on in, move in. We're going to be all right. Don't worry about brownouts. We're going to have blackouts.
He's been trying to rework the infrastructure. And again, that's a broad story. I don't know if the details are, but he was pretty, he's like, yeah, all right, I'll start work tomorrow. But to speak to the whole power shortage, we were launching a new neighborhood in Rio Rancho called Melon Ridge as a development, and one of the things that we just couldn't get the final certificate of occupancy for the neighborhood because P&M could not switch on the power. They just didn't have the manpower to go out there and switch on. They call it energizing the neighborhood. Basically, you have all the infrastructure in place, everything's hooked up. They just have to go out there and hit the main switch, essentially, to turn on the power to the neighborhood. Couldn't get them to do it for almost 3 months, I think, 90 days. Yeah. So we're sitting there with interest loans going, and the builder going, hey man, I've got building I got to get done here, and P&M was just like, we just can't get it going yet. Hold on.
Don't care.
So it's not an uncommon problem, I think, with P&M and the utilities here.
I don't think there's a sense of urgency when I've met with P&M. We have some time. Let me talk about the P&M story. So one time P&M comes out to my house, right? And they're like, hey, you're in big trouble. And I'm like, all right, I guess you're Uncle P&M. I don't know who you are. He's like, do you understand that you haven't paid us for 24 months? And I go, I don't know. I mean, I make a lot of money, so I don't know like what goes in and out. I thought you had bill pay. Like, you haven't paid us in such a long time. I go, okay, I don't know what happened. He's like, do you understand you shut off the power to your meter? And I go, no, I don't, because I didn't do it. And so I think the meter guy never came through like the bushes. You ever see that Homer Simpson thing where he just comes through the bush? That's how thick the bushes are for my meter. And he's like being accusatory, like, why would you do that? You could have like shut down.
Wait, what is they say? He's saying that you disconnected?
I like shut down the power per my house. And then he goes further. You could have shut down the power of the whole neighborhood. I go, not me.
Well, if you shut down the power, then how do you have power?
Yeah, good. That's what
I'm tracking now. I get it.
No, that's what I was trying to ask him. And so I go. So he basically he said that I stopped something of the meter, but I shut down. Wait. He didn't make any sense. He wore a ball cap, and maybe he was scamming me. But either way, I realized like, oh my gosh, I maybe haven't paid PNM. And he goes, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna put you on a payment plan, and we're gonna start with this month, and then that will be your your average for 24 months. I go, it's summertime, so I'm gonna have to pay $384 for 24 months, and so yeah, pulled jack move. I went, I'm leasing this place out, new renter, bye. But it was so unreasonable. I legit did not know this was happening. And I guess I had to blame Brooks Washburn for watching. I think he really did it. But like, to play the PM guy that goes, not checking the meter, like, yeah, I'm not going through that bush.
For 2 years, huh? That wasn't on the radar. Mm-mm. So many funny things happen in neighborhoods, and what we were talking about previously is how insane it is if you're part of the Neighborhood Watch, the Neighborhood app, or if you're a part of the Ring Camera family.
Oh yeah.
You can join the Ring Camera. There's a neighborhood app there where you guys can all spy on each other in the shower, or whatever you do in the Ring family.
Just Hey, if you guys like voyeurism, do I have an app for you?
Yeah. But it's hilarious because I was going through the Ring Camera and people will post the most asinine shit. Like they'll take a picture of a wasp and be like, does anyone know what kind of bug this is? And then 30 people will comment, well, it looks like it could be.
But tell them what your
So I had to go on. I had to go on and just create a troll account.
Yeah, no, you had to.
I had to.
Yeah, you live with no choice.
Me, no choice. But now I got to be the guy. Yeah. So we're rolling out a new segment. Is called "I Saw It on Ring" or "Razzing the Next Doors," whatever it is. I don't even know. But
we will actually. So, like in lieu of a guest, because sometimes we don't have them. I think we will do a full segment of us and social media interaction, right? Just ridiculous, outlandish people and our interaction with them. And I think where we're going with this too, because we were talking, I had a next door neighbor post, and I said, this isn't for, oh, my Papa John's pizza was cold, and someone drove too fast, and what's up with the newest generation? They're so soft. So I write a pretty articulate post, and I'm like, this isn't what this app is for. The mission statement is for neighborhood happenings, and most of people are just banging in like, yeah, let's fucking go, and then some people are like, we have the right to say whatever we want, and I go, you're the problem, because you can.
You're clogging up my feed.
I guess you can. And people are talking about freedom of speech and that stuff, and I'm like, this is so dramatic. I'm not going to confiscate your phone and your computer. You can type it. I'm not running the program, But I'm saying the constraint and the point of contention is stop this material, and you should see, you could tell who were the guilty people because they were fighting for it, and we should be able to talk with everyone. And if Donald Trump is fighting bears and Biden, trying over my dad, and dude, what is it? What neighborhood was that though? I always do that. I go, what neighborhood did that happen? And well, no, it wasn't. I know, trapped you. You can't do that to us, and that's what makes people like you and I not visit it, because there's so many extreme people just venting. You can't just vent. It's not like
what is this? What is this garbage?
What is this HVAC? You can't just vent. Like that.
Speaking of, dude, you feel like rolling into a Grant's Rants, or should we just?
I don't know.
Should we just hit the party
more than that, though. I feel like I felt like I just. Okay. Yeah, I do like that he did that, but I just feel like I blew my wad. I don't have much more to say. I mean, I was talking about. I think I wrote down some cliches that I don't like, and I think I mentioned this before, but I don't like it when people say, "Oh, I want my 5 minutes back," and I was like, you can't get fucking time back. That's how time works. You get, no matter what. If you go to Disneyland, you can't get your 5 minutes back. If I wasted your time at UPS, can't get 5 minutes back. But the other thing, I think that you're just focusing on me right now. But I wanted to bring up folklore in terms, and so I'll give you a couple of things. When people say it's raining cats and dogs, you know where that came from?
Tell me.
It's because people that weren't doing very well had habitats that were made out of straw, and sometimes the cats and dogs would be up there for warmth and they would fall through in rain. And also sometimes people didn't have a pot to piss in. It's because they literally would need that, and then if you were poor enough, you didn't have a pot to piss in. And people used to actually sell their piss for
rent?
Coloring.
Piss? Yeah. Why do you have to
so
sell
if you were
piss?
piss poor, that's where they could.
You were so poor you had to sell your piss.
But yeah, you're piss poor. No.
All right.
Now sleep on that. Sleep on that, Alec.
Yeah. And then obviously stay tuned to
Ask
the
me
end of the
questions.
show. It's everybody's favorite. Skibs Tibbs. Stay tuned.
Hope our cat shows up. Welcome back. It's segment 3. Oh my God, I'm so happy about this. It's Skip's Tips.
Skip's Tips are anything that saves us time, makes us more money, or allows us to have more fun in real estate or real life. You may not know this, but there's 3 negotiations that take place in a real estate transaction. Now, of course, we all know about price, terms, and timeline is the original negotiation. But did you know that a second round of negotiations takes place after the home inspection? Whether it's a faulty furnace or something creepy with the foundation, repairs or concessions need to be negotiated. And this is the main reason that transactions fall out of contract. And the third round of negotiations takes place after both of those, and that's in the event of an issue with the appraisal. So if the appraised value comes in less than the purchase price, there's 3 things that can happen. Number 1, we renegotiate that purchase price down. Number 2, the buyer brings in cash to make the difference. Or number 3, the buyer's not even required to purchase the home if there's a difference between the appraised value and the purchase price. So what's been your experience negotiating through the transaction? Did your agent have your back and were they able to keep the deal together? Or did the deal crater? Either way, share this with a friend and tell them Skip said so.
Come on. And number 4, fight them if things don't go your way.
Bam, 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 bam. Thank you for tuning in. Dude, what's great episode.
Oh, yeah.
I love it when an episode runs smoothly.
When it just hangs down.
Sylvan Learning
like a
Center.
dog.
Every Wednesday night, Sunday morning here on the Education Channel.
What
and
channel?
Worldwide. Oh,
What channel are
27.
Mark? Did we get a...
we're on both.
we're on both.
And YouTube.
We're on
Follow us.
both.
Follow us on Spotify as well for the podcast version. This is all about you, ABQ.
Does Spotify really like help us? Like, do we trans?
You're watching you, ABQ.